Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. This is the first of 3 installments. Professor Willis asked me to do some more pop music minded auxiliary percussion lessons, short lessons. I'm primarily a drum set player. I studied all kinds of percussion when I was in school in the 90s. But in my working life, after I got out of college, the majority of my work happens here on the drum set. But when I'm in the studio, oftentimes I'll be adding handheld percussion parts to the drum tracks that I record. And I'm self-conscious about this because this isn't really my area of expertise, especially when I hang out with such amazing percussionists who have put so much time into dialing in the techniques and all these instruments that most people who don't understand think are quite simple. A shaker seems like this kind of childish toy-like instrument, but I have percussionist friends who do amazing things and can manipulate and control a shaker with such technique and musicality and soul and passion. But still, I'm going to offer up to you what I have been thinking about for some of the master classes I've been teaching at WVU on this topic. So you have a PDF there called Shaker Exercises, and we'll try to just go through this quickly, and then you can go away and work on this stuff. And really, the main thing we're looking at here is 2 different sounds, a legato sound and a staccato sound, and they're notated there at the top. And I put in quotation marks SH for sh, and that's when you move the shaker forward and you let the contents of the shaker just kind of move across the bottom of the plastic. It's just a warmer sound. Shh, shh is what I'm thinking. And then the staccato sound, CH in quotation marks, with the dot over it, that's ch, ch. And basically I just put a little snap, and instead of the sound of the contents of the shaker moving in the bottom of the plastic, this is the contents of the shaker striking the side of the plastic. And the part that I need to work on is that after the attack, that the sound stops. And there's a way to manipulate the shaker so you have control over that. So legato is the sh sound, and staccato is the ch sound. And then there's a series of exercises here where we go back and forth. So I'll turn on the metronome at 75 beats per minute, and we just practice them. So this is measure 4, all legato. And you notice I wrote underneath there, out, in, out, away from my body, in, towards my body. Simple enough, but I'm trying to put it right on the beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Then with the staccato sound, a little more snap. 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And I just, I send the shaker forward and let it stop. I bring it back and let it stop. And then combinations of that. Legato on the way out, staccato on the way in. Staccato on the way out, legato on the way in. So this is measure 6. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then in reverse. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and. Now some new rhythms here, some more syncopation. All legato, the rhythm is, this is measure 8. 1 E end to 2 E end, a 3 E end, a 4 E end, a 1 E end, a 2 E end, a 3. So you could say out, in out, in out, in out. Or the rhythm would be 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1 E end, a 2 E end. And then staccato, 2 E end, a 3 E end, a 4 E end, a 1 E end, a 2 E end, a 3 E. Then combinations of the two. We do staccato on the way out, legato on the way in. Out, and out, and out, and out. And so on and so on. And then we put it on different parts of the measure. 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4, 1 E and a 2. Staccato, 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4. And then combinations, 1 E and a 2, 3 E and a 4. New rhythm, measure 14. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 out, in. 2 E, out, in. 1 E, out, in. 1 E, 2 E. And so on and so on. These are little individual notes. Measure 20, we get into repeated eighth notes, repeated legato eighth notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and out, in, out, in. Then with the staccato sound, where I'm letting the contents of the shaker hit the sides. Measure 24, a gallop or reverse gallop and a bunch of combinations. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Out, in, out, out, in, out, in, out. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. You work on those as legato strokes and staccato strokes. Measure 26, you get into the reverse of that. So the rhythm is 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Do that with staccato. And then combinations. Measure 28. 1 and 2 E and 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 E and 3 and a 4 and. Or measure 30. 1 and a 2 and 3 E and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3 E and 4 and. Number 5, 16th notes. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a staccato. And so on. Now the last section, a series of 16th notes with accents. So for this last section, I've only written accents. I didn't write the articulation of legato versus staccato. So we're going to assume that all the unaccented notes, we're going to use this legato sound, and for the accented notes, we'll use the staccato sound. And let's listen to this series. So here's your 16th note, and we'll start at measure 34. Ready, go. Next one. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 2 E and. Next one. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. Next one. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and. Next one. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. Next one. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 1 E 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E 2 and 3 E. Next one. 1 E 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 2 and 3 E and. Next one. 1 and 2 3 E and 1 E and 2. Next one. 1 E and. Sorry. 42, 43. Ready, go. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. Next one. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. Last one. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. There you go. So that was kind of a crash course. I was moving quickly there, but find your quiet space and a metronome and a shaker and work on all of these individually and really be mindful of the technique and the sound you're getting and locking the rhythm in, and just stay relaxed. That's the other best piece of advice I can give you for that. Hold the shaker in a relaxed way and breathe.